Guys, I'm Greg Sorzavasti with Deepest Dream. Pleasure to meet you both.
Hi, Greg. Pleasure to meet you.
So first off, Jack, my heart almost like really welled up. I was so emotional seeing this because in my version, this would be a movie that would be smack dab right after Sidney Lumet directed The Pawnbroker, somewhere in 65 or 66. He'd make something like Day of the Fight or maybe Kazan, a black and white Kazan film. Can you just talk
Oh
about you,
man.
your love for that era? Because I think it's all over Day of the Fight and it's singular, but I really love that about your film.
Oh, what a lovely thing to say. Well, you've just mentioned Lumet and Kazan. I mean, two of my absolute all-time favorites. Yeah, I'm one of those people who believes that we're all sort of students of film, and all the films that have come before me have sort of shaped me into who I am today as a person, and sort of like shaped my heart into what I know and what I love and what I want to make. This idea came to me. It was inspired by a documentary short, which was a very simple idea about a boxer with not idea about Walter Cartier, the boxer, on the day of a prize fight. And I thought, well, some of my favorite films start with the simplest of stories, but the complexities of the human spirit are what make it complex, not necessarily the story. The story can be complex because you're with the character. And I said, as soon as you put that little edge in there that, well, what if this is his last day? What would you do? What would you say? Who would you speak to? Everything sort of spawned from that. So yeah, and it sort of felt in line with the idea of cinema that I love, that makes you feel, and I want to feel something when I go to the movies.
Just a quick follow-up. When you were writing this movie is about being there for other people, no matter what kind of trauma you're facing. When you were writing this, did you think about your own loved ones and family? Because it's a boxing film, but it feels like a very personal movie. Or is that just smoke and mirrors, So
No, every second. Every second. I tell you what, it's a really good example. Nicolette, a lot's casting, obviously. It's like getting two people together. They had to portray. We've all had relationships. We've had good relationships. We've had bad relationships. But what you're trying to convey is a connection between two people that is such a deep love. And Nicolette will explain it better because she is the wonderful performer who brought this, wonderful character to life. But every single one of those people was written from something inside of me. But I'm one of the belief of when you're giving an actor the character, they own that now. And it's my job to sit here and be a guide and let them elevate the words and become that. And they did that so superbly.
So I guess on that point, Nicolette, for you, just acting opposite Pitt. I mean, he's come from that like kind of line of Montgomery Clift and Brando and those type of actors. You're just drawn to them. But you as an actor, you're the anchor of these moments.
Absolutely.
What's the key to that? What is the unlock? Because I think it's a very hard role that you had to face. So.
Yeah, thanks. I think for me, it started with my love for the screenplay. I felt like when I read it, I wept afterwards. I couldn't stop thinking about it when I put it down, and there was just something about Jess that I just connected so deeply to. I think that part of it was like, I think their relationship and their love and the passion that the two of them had. And so for me, like entering to work with Michael Pitt, I studied a little bit of his work, did like a quick sort of like YouTube of whatever clip I could find of him. And the thing that I found that I was really drawn to about his work as an actor is everything is within his eyes. He just like pulls you in, and like you can just, it's almost like you fall into them even just watching. And so for me, I just knew that it was going to be about just really locking in with him. And I think the goal was to just be as human and as grounded as we possibly could so that we could tell this very deeply human story. Yeah.
Thank
you. Yeah, definitely. Jack, I'm not going to give away the ending, but just on a writer's perspective, how hard was it to come up with that ending? Because it's day of the fight, and we're also talking about who are the people in our lives that we continue to fight for no matter what? And where did that idea come from? And how did you work through that? Because that's very emotional.
Yeah, I mean, it's a life in a day. The film is. It takes place. The opening shot is the same, is a reverse of the closing shot of the film. In essence, it opens the same way it closes, up and down. So I wanted that. I knew that my structure. It's so funny. I knew where I started. I knew where I ended. I knew the sort of little bit of the footprints that where I was going to go, but I wanted it to be almost like a conscious stream of thought when I was writing it. I didn't want to have any barriers and hold myself to any type of account of he must do this, he must do that. And a lot of the process was very organic. So once I'd start writing something, I'd suddenly lead him somewhere and then someone else would come about or he'd think about something, and they were a lot from what I'd imagine I'd go through in those moments and that sort of like process. I think music's hugely influential to me and also to the movie. I think it's another character. And obviously with Nicolette's voice and who she is and who Mikey's father is, also a musician, and he's never without his earphones. I always found that such a sort of intriguing because I had to find someone who was not only just an absolutely wonderful actress, but somebody who also has a voice that would haunt you. And I always imagined when he says, when I was inside and I couldn't sleep, I used to think about you singing our daughter that song about the rain. You have to imagine somebody with a voice that would haunt you, that would live in your dreams, that would put you to sleep, that would be your happy place. And that's to find somebody who can do both to such a degree is, unbelievable, incredible.
Thank you guys so much for your time. Nicolette, you were great. I wish I asked you more questions. I have very few minutes, but thank you guys so much.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. For more movie and television reviews and interviews, please subscribe to my Deepest Dream channel. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, thanks so much for your support. Take care. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. For more movie and television reviews